Whirling around, I raised both eyebrows and my mouth dropped open, making a small O shape. A partner? I haltingly duplicated, blinking a few times. Partner? Boss responded with a small dip of his head. He's the best we ever had, and you should feel honored and privileged to work with him. I was suddenly really pissed off. Mad. Fuming. Why does boss think I need a partner? Is he trying to say I'm not good enough for this job? Before you start to assume my trust in your abilities, I'm making life easier for you. Killing a student whilst being a student is not easy. You need help, boss informed me, watching me carefully with his piercing dark eyes. I don't need help, I exclaimed, an embittered feeling tickling within my bones whilst I threw my hands up. I'm perfectly capable of doing my job without someone wrecking my plan. I struck a jarring note, sneering at boss. I was piqued by his lack of faith. You're not, boss simply replied, not showing his emotions. Damn him. I huffed out in anger and I was so close to start pulling at my hair out of annoyance. I am, boss. Let me do this without someone. Give me a month. Boss looked like he was contemplating over the idea, but something flashed in his eyes. No, sorry. You'll meet with your partner after school tomorrow. He will pick you from school and drive you over the CDS headquarters C16. He deadpanned. I knew this voice. No arguments. No nothing. Boss is the boss. And boss got his way. Boss twirled around in his chair, sending me the message to get out of the office and shut the door. I don't like this at all, I spat out, crunching the paper in my hands. And with that, I turned on my heels and flew out the room. A few hours later, I barged through the double doors, sprinting to my class. First day and I was already running late. My legs carried me as fast as they could up a flight of stairs to room 102. The hallway was deserted since everyone else was in class. Running a good 30 minutes late wasn't such a great start, and I wasn't intending to make it a daily routine. Rounding the empty corner, I was suddenly out of breath. 1 month training in the Netherlands certainly increased my stamina, but I still needed work on my breathing when I was running. That would probably be my only downfall. I felt more tuckered than I looked it. When I fought myself to get out of bed, I nearly collided with the side closet and held my eyes open with my fingers. I was that beat. I started to walk slower, partially because my legs threatened to give up on me, and when I realized there was something blocking my way. A whole pile of brown boxes. I frowned, shuffling to the right and trying to find a way around it. My luck really sucks today because my first class was literally on the other side of the boxes. I could see the door from the little gap in between the boxes. Hello? I need to get past! I shouted to no one in particular, straining my neck to get a view above the boxes. I'm not even sure if anyone could hear me. Never mind see me past these carelessly thrown boxes. I sighed, dropping my bag on the floor and slowly picked up one box. I rearranged them so there was a path for me to walk through. 2 more boxes were left when a voice stopped me. I slowly peered up, my eyes falling on a young man. My breathing immediately hitched up and I fought the urge to start fanning my face then and there. I've stumbled across beauty before, but seeing this kind of beauty nearly threw me off my feet. It went all hot and boiling all of a sudden, and I think I knew who the cause was. The man didn't seem a year older than 25, maybe pushing 26. His thick waves of chestnut brown hair had been tousles in a certain way I'm sure no hairdresser could ever master. His tight shirt appeared to show his broad, well-muscled chest. Pale blue eyes that flickered under the feral light as he guardedly returned my gaze a slow scowl appearing on his face. "Did you hear what I said?" the man said in an aggravated tone, his jaw ticking. I quickly get out of the trance, scoffing at the man in an attempt to camouflage my dazed look. I must look like such a loser right now. "Does it look like I'm listening?" I bent over, purposely showcasing my cleavage. He couldn't resist my two partners in pleasure. I grabbed another box, lifting it and putting it on top of another. One more box left and I just stepped over it. All the while, a flirtatious smile plastered on my face. "Now that you disorganized all my boxes, you can spend your lunch today organizing it again," he said in a slow, clipped voice. He glanced down at the barely there space between us, a disgusted look appearing on his face at our proximity. With one melodramatic step back, the man angrily pointed a finger at me. "Detention." I gaped at him, completely rendered speechless. So wait, if he could dish out detentions, that means he's a teacher? Crap. I scoffed while putting on a cool mask. "What makes you think I'll come to that? Are you even a teacher?" I questioned him with a raise in my eyebrow. The man straightened up, standing tall. He was at least a good foot taller than me and well built. I inwardly shrank back, for the first time feeling intimidated by a man. A stranger I didn't know anything about. He could be a weak, lonely bastard for all I knew. Nevertheless, the power radiated from him. "I'm a maths teacher, a new one to be straight with you, and I won't tolerate anyone destroying what I worked hard on," he snarled down in my face. I wanted to push him back from his chest, but it seemed inappropriate to do so. "I just moved it to one side so I could get to my class," I exclaimed, crossing my hand over my chest. This caused my cleavage to make a clear appearance and suddenly felt uncomfortable. I quickly dropped my hands. "I watched you roughly misplace them," he shot back, eyeing me with distaste. If he would just glance down, he would let me off and even riot why I was late. But it doesn't seem like all that was going to happen. "Detention today at lunch," he repeated briskly. "I'll remember your face, and if you don't appear, I'll speak to the head about your rude behavior." I snorted at his mild threat. Seriously, he couldn't do much about me. Boss would sort it out and make sure I wasn't kicked out. But it still angered me that he somehow had the upper hand in this. "You seriously have a big ego on your shoulder. Dashing out detentions like you know how they work," tilting my head to the side. I stepped closer to him, our chests merely touching each other's. "Mr. Egocentric." He just glanced down at me with a dirty look that consisted of his nostrils flaring and him wrinkling his forehead. "It's just sir to you." He stepped away again and walked into his office. "At least give me a late slip," I shouted after him, but was cut short by the door slamming in my face. Absolute bastard.